why you are witnessing this commotion here. This commotion here that has almost turned into a brawl. That has almost turned into a brawl. That has almost turned into a brawl. That has almost turned into a brawl, and it's getting quite nasty here. 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 It's getting quite nasty here, and the scenes here are quite disturbing. The scenes here are quite disturbing. The scenes here are quite disturbing, I must say. But of course, cool heads are not prevailing. Cool heads are not prevailing. Cool heads are not prevailing. And that's what we are witnessing. Members of Parliament are holding tables, insisting that the process be disrupted and that there should not be any room for anybody to contemplate vetting. And the minority is insisting and making sure that that doesn't happen. And as you can see, it's a tug of war. It's a tug of war. It's a tug of war here. It's a tug of war here. It's a tug of war here. And if care is not taken, somebody might get injured in the process. Somebody might get injured in the process. Somebody might get injured in the process. Somebody might get injured. In fact, the public address system, the public address system has been destroyed, and Michael Okudzeto has his temper very high here. Like I said, the public address system, in fact, some of them have actually been destroyed. And even if this ends, I can tell you that tomorrow this place might not be ready for the exercise to continue, because in the process I've seen some of the public address systems here that have been destroyed. And so it's safe to say that even if this exercise is abandoned today, there's no guarantee that this particular place will be ready tomorrow for this exercise to continue. And it's quite chaotic here. It's quite chaotic here. And what you are witnessing is, I can say, it's much more chaotic than what we witnessed about 4 years ago during the election of the Speaker. The table has been broken, and the public address system has been destroyed. And I can tell you that, as I mentioned, even if members of Parliament decide to return tomorrow, the facilities here will not be ready for the exercise to continue. So the bench has actually been broken. The table has been broken, and this place has been vandalized. This place has been vandalized.
Yeah, good afternoon, sir. Afenyo-Markin Saturday. I think that this particular issue where also our Parliament is an issue where the person you can't a live show there Saturday. Ghana about 1:36. And see when you join it, but before you share discussion, as no, the person you share video no, area and sana yatwaso. To there, you share video no me, you share video no. And you hear Frank Anodon Prayer and Co insisting that they should do it now that the place has been turned upside down. And I can count not less than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 and more police officers. But of course, the police officers here are ensuring that force is not used. So what they're doing is that they are calming the tempest down and then ensuring that nobody gets hurt, because it's quite chaotic, and in the process somebody might get hurt. And so that's what's happening. They are still engagement. I've seen the majority leader, the minority leader still here. I've seen Collins Dauda, I've seen Dominic Nitu, the majority chief with Roxy Nelson Dafia Meko, Samia Uku, I've seen many here who are attempting to explain what each side thinks is the right thing that must be done. But of course, the minority members are having none of that. The tables have been turned. These are scenes that before the 2020 happening on the floor of Parliament, you say you witness these happenings from other parliaments. It happened in 2020, and we thought this will not repeat itself. Well, there's another episode here which is quite much more chaotic than what we witnessed on the 6th and to 7th of January 2020. And so, if you ask me, I can tell you that unless this exercise continues without the public address system, this particular committee room 1 and 2 cannot be ready to either continue the process or even return to the process tomorrow. That's exactly what is happening. And so, yes, if you have just tuned in, what you are witnessing is not a jamboree. What you are witnessing is not a night of power by vandals in Commonwealth Hall. No, this is the same place that ministers that have served in the Fourth Republic, ministers that have occupied offices since the beginning of the Fourth Republican dispensation were here. This was the exact committee room where they were vetted. I can report to you that that particular committee room has now been turned upside down because the minority insists that they are no longer able to engage in the process of vetting the nominees of President John Dramani Mahama. They, however, insist that the exercise be truncated for it to resume tomorrow. The majority members insist that no way, if the minority members are tired, they should take leave of the committee, and the committee will be properly constituted, and the committee is well constituted to carry on with its activities. The minority will have none of that. It insists that over its dead body, nobody is vetting anybody, and the process will be truncated. And so there's a standoff here in Parliament. There's a standoff here in Parliament, and it doesn't look like this standoff will be resolved any moment from now, because the outstanding nominees, 2 of them are here. I can see Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa here. Kwabena Mintah Kando has taken his seat, and he's sweating, and that to the extent that he has a handheld fan in his hand, and the place is choked because members of the public who came to accompany their friends, their MPs, their party members for this exercise to take place have also decided to stay behind and witness what is happening. And it's been chaotic. In fact, to use the word chaos will be an understatement. There's no movement whatsoever. This is a total standoff. And of course, there is a conversation going on. Yeah. Yeah. Mm. Mm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So you heard Gavin Kwame Abuja indicating and communicating to the minority members that the majority side has tolerated the minority side for far too long. On its own, the majority side has quorum to transact any and every business. Any and every business. And that is out of respect and out of magnanimity that the majority members have.
Yes, enti se wo hwe de ekoso a wo hwe on your screens nyina exactly what happened in Parliament. Video ni nyansi me try na mabo ni nyina amawatie. But Ghana Parliament Eho the kokosi no abaye topic for discussion on various platforms me sure say also wahubi, and I raise a lot of concerns about where the conduct, the demeanor, the posturing, and the language of some of the people are a motivating committee in parliament. Among for kwanya mo conduct your mo. Now we gauge against why most Ghanaians at this point in time in fact respect Emma Parliament. The question is why and as a ubilemono. But first of all, let me start this analysis by saying I am very happy with the kind of approach yes, Speaker of Parliament were adopted, because it's like this matter is being treated as a criminal case. The CID officially has been given the red light to go into this particular matter. Now we investigate it. So it is officially a police case. Our investigation is underway. Yes, I have that particular intuition as well, but let's see. He has done that. And also, not just that, and official statement from the Speaker of Parliament was suspended 4 MPs from Parliament, 1 from the NDC side and 3 from the other side that is the MPP side. For the next 2 weeks, all their involvement in parliamentary activities in Afenyo-Markin has been suspended. It means a committee, from Monday go you so much vetting committee or more vetting amount for uncle 4 way. In the part 4. Omudin PA your friend is saying suspension letter no. They are not going to be part of this thing anymore. And I think so far that is the kind of remedy Speaker of Parliament are taking, and I'm so much impressed with this particular way, because on one Kasa has admitted Parliament cannot demand or expect the public to respect them when they themselves do not respect themselves, because and run many Alaska Air show Ahoto FM, and I made it quite clear. Says I will hear the conduct and the demeanor, the behavior, the tone, and the posturing of people like Afenyo-Markin. And it's our brandy we are your friend is saying are not on prayer and others. The conduct of moderated committee in no and yes I back yeah vetting a vetting amount for. Yes, vetting committee Nipana betina anymore. Kwenye biya what so just to assess the competence of the person, to know so nipano president aboni di India na or you fit for purpose all that you got to do is to say nipano you give the person a pass or you don't give a person a pass based on your personal assertion, and then said obesi who name. But it looks as if this whole vetting committee thing has been turned into some kind of a revenge theater. As a way idea in the past, wabetena yenima yansono emerenie, and it didn't start with your friend saying Sam George and Okudzeto. It started with Oliver Oliver Kotena say Oliver Kotron Zambia Emfa Kwemu on one kasa jitum pacho, and a lot of people condemn him. That one is accepted, but Abrante no Kotena your friend committee na nim no most of the questions need demeanor and the approach by some people on the committee na issue na Oliver can wasn't even their problem. But this is they see him as a guy always what na your console on criticize into what by anima. And this the someone not on prayer can you say prove that you are a man. Your friend is saying you are not a coward. You cannot just come here and apologize. Or if you look at those tones, then as if for other and some a course so at the committee level now, clearly you see these are people who are out there for blood. But you see, so a personal score to settle with somebody, and yet vetting committee and say, and I'll bet and say, that particular platform, you can look for another platform. Use for those things. By the time Ghanaians are very serious, following the discussion, hoping this is a decent house. I said, if you turn that particular platform into some kind of a vindictive platform or reprisal, your friends say tia tabia, yenyano, or no so what by a because so ye bedru vetina. We Sam Georgia now had the approach, the questioning, the tone, the kind of way the question itself na eko Sam George so wasn't about gauging his competence as to whether say adwuma na e dia man no betimi aya na say ontumi nye and say concerns being some we were about, because that is all that the vetting is about. Rather, no, we were ushered into a realm sabi and near mahunu sabi and because political campaign platforms in some waka, then we had a screen. Afena Yebe played that particular thing. Ben can't say he doesn't have the right to do so. But you see, when you're doing these things, you should be sensible enough to know, say, people are watching you back home. If you have a personal vendetta or whatever with that person, you cannot use that public platform to settle that personal scores. And Afenyo-Markin it take him more than 3 solid hours asking Sam George frivolous, unnecessary, silly questions. And also generate whole lot of conversation around. And that is my worry. It looks as if say among 4 chances will be because Anamaka say where we've gotten to know it is not business as usual. We cannot just be doing sa nema we ya na 1990 sa sabi increase politics na didi ya dwema e platforms so we just behave anyway and we think so yeah partisan political burden sa nema no I'm saying say atwam raise the legitimate questions and concerns about the nominee and you think say that person does not qualify so obey a minister, state it. You can even vote against or raise concerns against the person and go through it. But you cannot use this platform to turn into some kind of a personal platform and Niamanu see after Sam George vetting, no? And on you with that kind of fracas and see you within the Parliamentary House and no a twice video no may bomb me but you let me just continue the video maybe then
have always relayed and then extended a hand of working relationship to the minority side. Some agreement has been reached. Some level of agreement has been reached. And now the communication from the minority side, especially from its leader, is that the committee members return to sit for a proper communication to be sent. So, as you can see, there is some level of de-escalation at the side of the minority as to whether the table will be able to stand on its feet again, because the legs, in fact, 2 legs of the table are broken. So once the table is being carried away, that is the casualty of the chaos witnessed. The table you are seeing is the casualty of the chaos that you witness here. You can see 2 legs of this table totally dismantled and annihilated. And so that table is gone, but again, the remnant of the destruction will still be there, and that is the public address system. The microphones have equally been destroyed. Many of them have been broken, as you can see. But of course, so the other table at the other side that managed to survive the chaos, the anarchy, has been moved to the center. For
yes, and so utie discussion, utie background commentary na enam we numna or cultural say table no ene niema na egu ho no yabubu table no atu ne fidie na omo akasa fam ne nasefo no nyina no omo bubu no ase no. And these things, were being transmitted on our screens that people are watching from home. And these are people we describe on the Bone as a forum. You see, this particular issue, and your issue, is quite consistent. I see what happened in at the inception of the 8th Parliament. In some AC, and a man from Kofa ballot papers or more. And then home and sense my see na a man for free says something was going to happen aftermath. Say at least you bet me a set certain way be a man for be say Parliament House no sabi enya platform a yekotena okokodi nsem hunu, but in the end of the day nothing happened. Ama nipa ni nyina get away with it, and eno na akwaba ene ede ya baba wura this particular realm a table now mote so mo ye we ne abubu microphones na se for sa na ma we nyina de Ghana for sika na to yo ya bubu no. These are people mpanimfo a mo behave to say secondary school for nkora o makọ dining ho a sabi aduane yese enye denti ombe say nema e wo ho. That's exactly how these people were behaving. Now my culture say respect is something we earn. You cannot force people to respect you. Abra Oliver appear before this particular same vetting committee na yese wakasati omono. The cardinal point Anna, Afenyo-Markin and other people were standing on has to do with redeeming the image of Parliament and asserting its authority, not or making sure say a man for and respecting or more as a house. My question is so you can never even utifie one or you know ma na motifie na we papa na wo fie no so a time will come nobody will respect you. And it's exactly what is playing out in Parliament. And to me, I'm meeting her, TV, will be a TV or TV know who this particular conduct. Now, MPs can do this on screens, and then nothing happens to anybody. And then any day that a discussion comes up in any public discourse in Nasophobia now, people will see you as jokers, and you will not get the respect you desire. Because people will see you for who you are, not what you are. Because for what you are, nobody gives a damn. And it's the reason why Americans can nipa be suyan self-free sa anema wema. And I'm partisan politics and that's be ahomaso. The echoes we nyina because the posturing of even Afenyo-Markin per se on another prayer at the committee na nkasano it changed the whole thing to something different. And Okudzeto committee na say we near Botaria. But I've seen a lot of people blaming the chairman. But sometimes, who had conduct in the course, so also decided to go the other way. I'm not sure that the process will continue. So let's finish watching the video, then we'll continue with the discussion. I just want a lot more people to come, so please also copy link and share survey. So it's going to be a long discussion today.
Members of the public who came to accompany their friends, their MPs, their party members.
We'll continue with the discussion.
To take place,
I just want a lot more people to come, so please also
decided to stay behind and witness what is happening.
Discussion today.
And it's been chaotic. In fact, we use the word chaos will be an understatement. There's no movement whatsoever. This is a total standoff.
Their party members
and
of
course, there's a conversation going on.
I just want a lot more people to come.
Yeah. Yeah. Yes. Yes. So you heard Gavin Kwame Abuja indicating and communicating to the minority members that the majority side has tolerated the minority side for far too long. On its own, the majority side has quorum to transact any and every business. Any and every business. And that is out of respect and out of magnanimity that the majority members have always relayed and then extended a hand of working relationship to the minority side. Some agreement has been reached, some level of agreement has been reached, and now the communication from the minority side, especially from its leader, is that the committee members return to sit for a proper communication to be sent. So, as you can see, there is some level of de-escalation at the side of the minority as to whether the table will be able to stand on its feet again, because the legs, in fact, two legs of the table
minority as to whether the table
will be able to stand on his feet again because their legs, in fact, 2 legs of the table.
So what is happening at the moment? Air Kosuya, Animguasia, Ferrier, and we are Ghana the now to TV honors a watch as anima we are Air Koso, and these are not ordinary people doing what you're saying. These are your friend saying what is happening. MPs are one Kasawakujina at the anima, what for Abamomo, and they are behaving in the manner you see. You know how embarrassing this whole thing is. And it's something that we need to speak against. You see, what is going on at the vetting is a mere formality. It's just a process. President AUB at the Parliamentary. We need to go through some of these procedures just to ensure we vet the person. But let me also add, this year, this vetting committee we are in Kasano, it need to me to stop Obi from so pass as a minister. I'm talking about the other side, that is the minority. It need the numbers. Obi Jinaswaka say nipa we yen to me pass no. And now because of ABC dintino yen jenuntum. All the worst that can happen for any minister be or appear before this committee is maybe at the committee level you are not going to get a unanimous your friend saying pass. Say side and side ni nyina na ma kwan say be minister. Very often dodo na ya sa no mope o me nso me call committee na anim no omo amame akwanya say menye me go through and nothing you are not good me go through, and that is something that a lot of the people are looking for. But aside that, say obi appear before this particular committee ya uhua saa nsɛmhunu ya omudi no akwese nkra sabi ya friend say omakwadan ne ho a omo aduane nye de na omo ye demonstration ya uhu say obi ba na omo se omo empass nipa na the whole thing will go to your friend saying the floor of parliament, and parliament bema members na omo wo floor ho nyina akwakoto aba. Say ye jinipa na tuma na say yen jinintum. But we are talking about parliament. The majority over more than 2/3 of the numbers in parliament are independent candidates in asifo nyina akwakoka omo ho. So Afenyo-Markin arrogance is your friend said this your friend is saying violent kind of attitude in order to parliament or the tia didn't know why and who kokoti asim says we are seeing and the one team etoda. He's trying to say but I would remember this particular minority cannot stop any of the people from being say young personal. So what is this arrogance? So all that they are doing is with the battered integrity and all the silly stuff the MPP government and the Akufo-Addo they think that this is the platform for them to get back at your friend is saying at the majority. Just to destabilize the process, and it's exactly what you're saying. Because I could do a Okudzeto platform I say tufo. Now we know futu anka Akufo-Addo bebo braboni sebi mkrasi sama motena kroma ye in 8 years So what Afenyo-Markin would futu couldn't you have given the same advice to the president? And Kenya na we and a Ghana for 2 but the way he was humiliated. So wouldn't him say you tufo? And your parliamentary committee has now better because wouldn't him a futua, I'm sure, sir. And can that a futu no? Kawadema president long ago. Emma ne to tone near my year born a braye. Emma sabinka elections na your coin better outcome be free mobile. But you sat there, you shut up because you were a beneficiary of the corrupt regime that was going on. Eka wano 2 months semhune course wo krom ha nyina no esiye. Na afei come back to parliamentary committee and say, say you have power, you have authority. Maybe opinion can tell minor minority no more can say micro minority. You don't even deserve it. Because it's shameful. Say somebody who claims no minority chair no on so because baby also now all of a sudden you don't even have the numbers to make any challenge and as a fight any decision going on in parliament. Such minority it's not obia. That is the reason why you see this kokotine akasisem, because the only way they can feel relevant is to go through the violent way. Asem way by the minority has taken the spotlight. Everybody talking about Afenyo-Markin and as for, and that is the only way they will feel relevant. It is over here now. You say woman be a friend, something. Your friend say head castle or whatever. I forgot the name. And then another prayer. Ekokunya standoff in Parliament. These are issues between two individuals at the sidelines. But look at the way they blew the issue to take over the whole process now more, you know. These are empty people. They have nothing to offer at the committee level. So they can only thrive on scandals. They can only be relevant on minor issues like this. It's the reason why they try to blow some of these issues out of proportion. If you don't understand, psychology no more adopted. Because when there is a free flow of affairs, I don't know, nobody will recognize them. And the persons involved, will pass through without any opposition from them because they don't have the numbers to stop anybody. So the only way they feel they can be part of the process is what you're seeing on your screen. And it's so shameful and it's so embarrassing. So that let me just try and play the video.
Of power by vandals in Commonwealth Hall. No, this is the same place that ministers that have served in the Fourth Republic, ministers that have occupied offices since the beginning of the Fourth Republican dispensation were here. This was the exact committee room where they were vetted. I can report to you that that particular committee room has now been turned upside down because the minority insists that they are no longer able to engage in the process of vetting the nominees of President John Dramani Mahama. They, however, insist that the exercise be truncated for it to resume tomorrow. The majority members insist that no way, if the minority members are tired, they should take leave of the committee and the committee will be properly constituted and the committee is well constituted to carry on with its activities. The minority will have none of that. It insists that over its dead body, nobody is vetting anybody and the process will be truncated. And so there's a standoff here in Parliament. There's a standoff here in Parliament and it doesn't look like this standoff will be resolved any moment from now because the outstanding nominees, two of them are here. I can see Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa here. Kwabena Kando has taken his seat and he's sweating, and that to the extent that he has a handheld fan in his hand and the place is choked because members of the public
nominees, two of them are here. I can see Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa here. Kwabena Kando has taken his seat.
Because committee, our chairman. Because committee, our chairman. And some vet one person, second person. Na say more ankasa among yourself as parliamentarians. If you have respect for one another, chairman na other committee no. You know this process is in it is our na main Parliament House or na speaker a presiding over. You are there as a deputy. Na say more a vet your friend is saying obi ewie. Na wose wabre. Enti the leader and close to the whole process. Na ento aso the following day. What wadwen? But the leader or the chairman have the sole discretion to agree with you or to disagree. And if he decides no, the process must continue. You as a member, you have no right, absolutely no right, to say one pound there, yanso ye kwa yamamon to aso. That is exactly what happened. Say one stop process na say your friend is saying mobile to aso aye vetting na ya bre ye kofie. Enti no yanso ye ntena se ma mo ntena ha anya vetting no. Enti ye be say process no. That is exactly what happened. Which to me yes, be sema me who be that. And nobody expects people at this level because Nema Ghana for form in the last 8 years. Amamu bone na homaso tantan ne krono akese akoso okroma no. A lot of people na fed up with this whole democracy. This even among for koto abama NDC crowd. Do na nkasa kura anya sure say things will get better because we got to a point among for free Ghana politicians na say no motie. But among for tenas no mu geji way yeah okay this one is a bit better than this. That conviction so among for trust and confidence in the political system no ankasa kura no en shada NCP sa enti among for need to window ena omo ye de ekoso yi enti you as a parliamentarian no you must be reasonable enough to know say you don't have to water down this trust that among for shall building and kakra this whole processing. Because I was a vetting committee and say na vetting no the entire chairman decided yeah no to end the vetting. They say the same Afenyo-Markin Wiana he took all the time. So that is what I'm telling you. So the whole thing is deliberate. These people have just decided to frustrate the whole process. So while call back or some George vetting Nubiano, you come to the realization say Afenyo-Markin can be a question for almost 3 to 4 hours. At that day, they had about 5 to about 6 people to vet. But Abra Sam George Bettina vetting him no. One person took more than 3 to 4 solid hours asking some silly, unreasonable questions. The chairman at some point in time even intervened in most of the instances. So this person wastes all the time, and chairman catches we are against time. And we are going to continue, and that's exactly what happened. And the more movie some said Roberta Lamte who be some said they see they had a number of people they were going to vet for the day. And now Afenyo-Markin ne Sam George, me assure you watch the video, we all watch everything. They wasted all the time. He himself said and yet chairman no kwa na didn't nice see from car say machines now more they play videos asia. He said he had a number of videos, which means that the guy was going to take more than 10 hours. I was Sam George in Kwanso because he is the deputy chairman to all right to ask as many as questions as all. And this guy wasted almost 4 solid hours. Now, oh yes, I near my way, we are now catch him say yampong, and a chairman said no. So what bra over to me? The rest of us will sit and continue the vetting. And no more say okay, say yeah, kwa. Yansun yamamon yet, and yeah, best say no. That's exactly what we see. And I've heard the speaker say, Obi Oya responsible for this particular webiano, that person will be punished. We are watching, we want to see, say indeed, a 7 or can no. Enkonko yesa wakana sa akeke. Namum obeye. Emme se ordina no kan ye saa keke. Ye hwe se obeye de o kan ye no ama Ghana for and me call way. That is exactly the kind of discussion that we had on this particular fencing issue. But before you, let me try and see if I can play that particular sound bite.
My mention will be na mention what's here for, and then see a Friday. Now, before we start, I think the news will be and the governor of Bank of Ghana is no more. That is just for the start. And Parliament, me share na mahu the course. And I think that Ghana for Shaby. Now let's get the see and no answer and round.
That's right.
Say, oh, do anywhere and rather see what TV so now they can't say, you may lose the bigger picture. And it's sad. And it's an enemy. Say, these are people, yatwa more honorable members. eco parliament and some of
that's right.
Say do anywhere and rather see what I'm playing. You may lose the bigger this discussion about what we said about your friends saying this particular vetting and until I may play this video. I'm here, the discussion will continue. So don't go away.
Them tend to behave in the manner that we saw now. Clearly, and Alaska behavior no time. And now, and I mean, who say Parliament, I had a same appointment committee, I drag Oliver.
That's right,
yes. Say, original morning because I can't sema, Ebuom who fee, and Alaska, Oliver Kohoko Pacho. The subsequent days in the DAC, I think the Parliament should call Oliver back and apologize to him because they don't deserve the apology he rendered to them. Parliament should call Oliver back.
That's right.
And apologize, render unqualified apology to him because they don't deserve the veneration and apology because of what happened. Alaska Enra, you saw men, honorable men in suit, displaying boyhood arrogance. Okay, school days. Boyhood arrogance.
That's right.
Disrespect to the people of this country. And committee no moti animu no. May I see something like they've turned it into a revenge theater.
That's right.
So we are na yenyang. So we need. So it's a theater for them to get revenge. But that is not what Ghanaians expect. The fact that say must circumvent some of the processes in for just to ensure that the process go hurriedly, no, you're on TV. And you are seeing a mote and a mooding some hunu. Camera is capturing you, and the whole Ghana is watching. So it is not just about Parliament. It's a procedure every single Ghanaian is following. So it's a why I would say house na sabi umu hukrana. You need to respect the people watching. Because they gave you power and that particular authority. Alaska, the echoes of Parliament just scan through various social media platforms and look at reactions, the public comment. Now, before we start, I think the news will be the governor of Bank of Ghana is no more.
That's right. What I'm for?
Yes, say ono ankasa ade nenkrata beto say or terminal leave and. The retirement ever so much 2025
that's right.
So he's not coming again. So the governor of Bank of Ghana, Addison Okofie.
That's right.
President Mahama Jinaso appointed a new person, Dr. Siama, or a former second governor of Way.
Exactly.
On take over. So breaking news in the friend is saying the governor is use this committee as a theater of revenge and attempt to whitewash the president who soiled himself and his integrity. And when Timian was saying so this committee, it's not an avenue for you to do these things. And now the same incident happened in Parliament. I say, woman, my friend Head Castle.
That's right.
At the personal level, I don't know what encounter on a way another. And look at how they've blown the whole issue out of proportion. Because these are two people that were not speaking to camera. Microphone as well. A sideshow. And a coso. But these people free say a gross disrespect and assault on the integrity of Parliament.
That's right.
And the woman, young hauling before privileges committee. Now you do this, you display such shameless act on TV. You embarrass yourself and disgrace the people of this country in the manner you did. The same person had the guts say Yemfre Obi to be cited for contempt. Then it means power now when you're not
that's right.
You have a privileged position and you're using that to muzzle your way, intimidating. And you see the world we live in, Alaska, it has expanded beyond anybody's imagination. You can't control the narrative. You can't muzzle people. You can't tell people what to do, what to say, what the kind of opinion they should express, whatever. No, my culture said, the only thing that will save you is to be sensible and act as such.
That's right.
If you go contrarily, and I said, who live life, a reckless, irresponsible life, this is the kind of reaction that will be generated within the public space. Because in recent times, so one who first or more attacking the integrity of Parliament. Parliament has said the way public.
Yeah, so Sana Mesikano, and your power and I will free say when your power now the be disabie cross sama uno bi anya ya because me MP your privileges committee enti yan so anamara your first privileges committee na omra meyi na no. The question is won so no sabi ensem hunu ne cross sama wo ye against the people of this country no hwan efra ma obeyi wo ho ano because Ghana for akwanya and cannot umpre, people will call him to come and respond to why he engaged himself in that shameful act. Afenyo-Markin the following day by did the clerk of parliament attempt our camera. At some point in time, he was even accusing the clerk say, "Oh, your NDC ni na oteho aye party bidding." Sanema, when you think it's not a sign of disrespect. You sit there among yourself, you embarrass and disgrace yourself in the manner that you did. And you think, say, me, I'm a you can force me to show you respect. You lie bad. You lie bad. Because respect is like, it's a mirror reflection. So, trust me, never expect say anybody will respect you. Respect is a virtue you practice and you earn from people. If you don't, forget it. And that is the kind of thing Parliament is not learning. And until the Speaker of Parliament, Gina so catch you say, honorable members, say we don't expect anybody out there to respect us. And until America say, they need to call Oliver back and apologize to him. Because the apology now or render to Parliament, they don't deserve that apology. Because the behavior of some of them, are far worse, are far of consequential effect on the integrity and the reputation of Parliament more than what Oliver said. So already Facebook but what you're doing, advertising, your friend saying this kind of embarrassment on TV, national television, everybody watching from anywhere, and you turn back and expect, oh, people should respect me because I am an MP. Who cares? Let's continue the video.
I can't want some. Yet, an assarin issue by a hoarding a Ghana for the kind of say. It's not just about Parliament per se, but it is about the conduct of certain individuals within the House. Why I have consistently been telling you, sir, most of them don't even deserve the prefix honorable. 92.3. Because Alaska, you can be an honorable and behave dishonorably. You talk recklessly, you behave childishly, you just anything. We don't care whether people are watching or not. And now so we TV. Now we had another course now we are going near or Senkra FM. And again, now make about questions and you bisa your friend say
Sam George.
Yeah, Sam George. So we have questions now. Videos now if Afenyo-Markin as you realize and no bisa no questions out of that now you begin to ask yourself, so what is the import of this whole thing? This is a guy who has decided to say Manyao Sawaba. One person asked question for 3 solid hours. I'm not sure say in the history of parliamentary vetting in this country we've ever had a person who appear before a committee. One person abisa question for 3 solid hours unabated. And I know it took the intervention of your friend saying the chairman. Because no see videos, and or Clark for no was smart to tell him say machines in your that's right. And I think that is what actually saved the day. And this yes I said some kind of a revenge even I would say so the process is now me watch na ma sua be a film I was like this is a genuine process. To get the best out of them, to know whether the person can actually do the job, so that we give them the verification to go ahead and do it.
We are not getting it.
That becomes a peripheral objective. Then personal revenge, and then for it take the central stage. So the core we know a peripheral, I don't know, a side show, and a revenge, take the main stance, and then as for them. And I think that what happened yesterday was clearly a demonstration of that particular bad faith that has been demonstrated. And you see, Afenyo-Markin, yes, in opposition, you might want to flex muscles and do the kind of thing that he does. But Alaska, I think he should be very careful with the way and manner, with this arrogance, posturing and posture he's assuming all over the place. You see, whatever that happened in Parliament, will not take away the fact that the MPP as a political party is battered under him.
That's right.
When he went to Parliament, no BI 167. 137. With
a thin line be at 138.
Exactly. And You are going home. You are sitting in Parliament with less than 90.
With 88.
With less than 90. That is a huge indictment on you.
Under your leadership.
Under your leadership. And you come sit, flex your muzzle, talk just like that. Show arrogance and no signs of remorse. Forgetting, say, Ghana for so red card because of Sir Ahomaswo.
That's right.
Ne Abrabo Boni, because I can sit here and tell you, say, Akufo-Addo lost the way his party lost, or Bawumia lost the way they did. Not because maybe because of bad performance alone, but demonstration of arrogance.
Exactly.
And a reckless talk what demonstrated over the years. And is the extension of what Afenyo-Markin is doing on the committee. I think somebody need to speak to him. So you see, this attitude way, you cannot use this attitude to rebuild the party. This is a party in opposition. You need to show remorse, accept your defeat, go and assess how I'll put to yours. I'm not saying, sir, he doesn't have a right to ask questions on the committee or whatever. But Alaska, what I'm saying is, sir, attitude, need posture, need penchant, need the way a manner, or go about the whole process. And as a form, I take integrity from the whole process.
That's right.
And the kind of unseriousness. Ghana for over the years attached to parliamentary business in Nasifon. And I have read a lot of posts and commentary from a lot of people on social media. These are people's opinion. You can't begrudge people from expressing their opinion. And we are talking about one of the foundational and the kind of unseriousness. Ghana for over the years attached to parliamentary business in Nasifon.
Yeah, so mame and chirem hakakra. Not make us a party will go into opposition in about a month, in less than a month, and defeat na party ni suffer is unprecedented under this Fourth Republic. Who's a political party will go into an election and suffer such a humiliating, crushing, embarrassing defeat. And this is a guy and not yet majority leader, and our transiting into minority leader under certain embarrassing circumstances. This is not a time to flex your muscles. Even if you are arrogant, you have no respect. You see, let me explain this arrogance thing. You see, whenever you see people who are full of themselves, so arrogant, and they talk down on others, a sign of inner weakness. People who are insecure, they don't believe in themselves, they have inner weakness. And to cover up for those weaknesses, they need to abuse others, look down on others, and feel big. So whenever these are people that there is a hole within them. There is a gap. The only way they think they can feel relevant is to abuse and look down on others. So that attitude, what time they could see parliament, na party, attitude pansam after elections like this. And you think you can use such behavior to rebuild such a party. Trust me, you will end up incurring the wrath of the people and you will not do yourself any good. And that is the kind of attitude Afenyo-Markin is playing our parliament. Video now our behind there some of the questions that Obisa Sam George, and I'm going to play some of the video for you now. What happened, the kind of heated argument that went on before the committee. To the sense of Obisa Sam George say, apart from the way why a channel, and I'm also catching saying you're in a channel. All these things are we are maybe bomb what ye be.
Institutions of our democracy, which is Parliament of the Republic of this country. You sit there and denigrate your integrity. You soil yourself, you disgrace yourself in the manner that you did. You engage in verbal brawl as well as physical face caps and then as a forum in camera. And you come back and tell people, say, respect me because I am MP. Who cares? Who cares? Alaska. So I think, say, now no Speaker Ankasa Kanye. And I like the way he put the issue. Speaker say, we cannot force people to respect us. We have to earn their respect.
That's right.
And in earning their respect, the life you live, how practical those things become, it is that will inform people the way they see you, their perception, and respect you. Let me tell you, you can never force me to respect you.
No.
be respected. What I say? And just having this contempt power. Oh, you better train up man about parliament and you better train up. Sa konwa one for kwatena na nke de obi speaker akasa ono na no bi anka se ba ka chere bi anka committee no kwa man na mbaka se bi a man maka TV phone capture wo Alaska, because these are people, most of them are sitting on heavy debts. Even so I think sir, my message is quite simple. They must begin to show themselves respect first before they earn it from the people of this country. And in doing so, no, they need to act in a manner as several interest. Now again, as I respect us as people, Alaska, you can behave in this manner and expect people to respect you. The following day, you come and expect me to call you honorable because you are in a suit. I understand there are a lot of good guys in there.
Oh, that's right.
There are a lot of committed, there are a lot of good guys, Asabi. Some of these things, Alaska, they don't engage in. But you see, say, and I'm saying, we are the whole way. Because when we are doing that discussion, we can't say minority. It's the whole parliament inclusive. But you know, lead this irresponsible charter, Emma Parliament, any demon and so forth. And if you go to various platforms, go and listen to the kind of commentary people are having about Parliament. And I know that they new things. I mean, a gun and young woman, you must say. Now, madam, a charge for contempt in a young hold you before we. So I think they need to be very, very careful. Now they should know, sir, and I make as a governance, and then the scope has expanded to the stand, sir. Obia is part of the process. Obia is watching. You must sit there and think, I'm a lawyer, I'm a school, no, people who are watching you from afar more, some are even far more intelligent than some of you can ever be. But you see, and you'll be able to when you go there, it is a privileged position to use the power, the mandate that has been given to you to serve people right, respect people, do the right thing, and focus on the major challenges that are affecting the people of this country. But na sa anema na kwaya secondary issues akwaya side so now you focus on trivialities, you focus on extreme partisan act that will give you some kind of political prominence. Your opposition you feel our presence. I think that is highly irresponsible because the one obibet now catch us away a micro your friend saying minority. And you have the gut to say they should cite the person for contempt. Does it even make sense? The person in question is not a parliamentarian. Alaska.
That's right.
If you look at the size of previous minority in parliament, the numbers sometimes 130, sometimes 140, sometimes 100 and over, and so forth.
That's right.
And I said, for the first time in the history, you perform so badly to the extent that you are low behind that. The individual has a right. Micro is an English description.
That's right.
That a person can just borrow to describe situation. You can't hold me or tell me the kind of word I should use to describe you. You understand? So I think we are pushing ourselves to a realm of your friends say nonsense when we begin to think that we can muzzle people to address or say things that we want. Micro minority, I don't quite when you're not to four board because men are made describe I won't call you micro minority. Because they don't even deserve it. And I'm like, Afenyo-Markin or no, I could not tell no cry. Some packet to a bimano would question Dan chamber bimano. To address or say things that we want. Micro minority, I don't quite.
Yeah, so answer na Mayano. We will let's listen to this particular way a course. So some of the questions. People say that I've been saying to a few friends that people say that politicians steal from the public purse. The Nana Akufo-Addo government did not steal from the public purse. They stole the purse. I've been saying to a few friends that people say that politicians steal from the public purse. The Nana Akufo-Addo government did not steal from the public purse. They stole the purse.
No problem. Hello, Honorable Nominee.
Mr. Chairman.
You have just watched the video. Would you want to explain what you mean by Nana Akufo-Addo did not steal from the public purse, but they actually stole the purse? Would you explain what you meant by that? And after that, let the public know whether you still stand by that statement or you seek to retract.
Mr. Chairman, before I answer, may I seek leave of you to know how many minutes I have to answer this question? Because I have a litany of over 700 corruption scandals under President Akufo-Addo that I will list systematically and explain each one to show Ghanaians how President Akufo-Addo and his government stole the public purse.
Honorable nominee, the question is, do you stand by it or not?
The question was twofold. So, do I stand by it? Yes. Why did I say it? That's what I'm asking for. How many minutes or hours you give to me to run through 700 corruption scandals under President Akufo-Addo?
Chairman, if the nominee so pleases with his evidence against Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo and he wants to proceed, it is within his right to proceed. Proceed. That's fine. Proceed.
Honorable members, order. Honorable members, looking at the time, I'm unable to allow the witness or the nominee to be proceeding with over 700 evidence that he is having. So instead, I will urge upon the nominee to make it available for the committee.
Chairman, in view of your earlier ruling, I will be happy to receive all that evidence so that as a house and as part of the proceedings upon receipt, those individuals who were involved in those corrupt practices will then appear before us for us to interrogate the issues, because this is an important matter. So there's no problem at all. We will be happy to receive that. Next video, please.
How many minutes would it take you to state it? Stating it.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not just going to state, I'm going to explain, so I'll need about 4.5 hours.
I'm asking you to state. I'm not asking you to give explanation. Can you state it?
Mr. Chairman, just stating it and not explaining it will not do justice to me. So then, if you won't allow me time to explain.
Yes, because that is the real size. You see, I'm on focus on more cancer. Now, when I yay, Alaska. Odi ho agransa amon for beka kire na bia parliament okwa na ninyo batam na konwa kwa kusifie. I think they need to exercise some bit of,
but I think
circumspection.
Idea now, he's just trying to appease Omo base, because one under the leadership understand now minimum say oh yes sir, because now when you go on social media they are saying, oh, this mighty minority, mighty this, mighty that. But the question now is, after the vetting, usefulness we're saying,
Alaska, and maybe the whole process in Okrano, maybe an Ghana for committee or multi-wing, and to mean deny will be so many may your friend say you.
To me by
young passing.
Exactly.
This committee for the first time any power. You see, most of the ministers in the per se at the committee level, I got overwhelming endorsement. That is something most of them want. But this committee that is sitting, end to win deny will be. Because they don't, because I told you I didn't say committee is on ya. It will go down to the floor.
That's right. Which we move on numbers, you know.
Exactly. So this whole thing, this arrogance, and if you want to energize your base, this is not the right way to do it.
That's right.
Because the MPP as a political party, vast majority of people most support the party, no, base, because most of them didn't even benefit from this whole corrupt cabal.
That's right.
But some love the party. And they see say our party is so battered. So at this time, no, if you want to rebuild the party, you employ wisdom and intelligence and smart way of doing things. So we are rebuild the trust, because as we speak, Alaska, trust is broken. Confidence is no longer there. People don't even know who is going to lead the party.
That's right.
The kind of this, your friend saying, leadership. I am so brutal and a cynic. You don't even know the kind of way or more corner. Sanyama we cannot, your friend said, build the MPP to gain the confidence that you want at this time.
That's right.
You think MPP base, is this kind of way no more pay? Alaska, they want to know why they lost the election so badly.
That's right.
They want to know the next line of leaders, how they're going to do things differently. But this constant bastardization, assault, attacks, and way, you saw what happened. The way Afenyo-Markin was insulting the clerk.
That's right.
In camera.
I see clerk no.
And this yes.
No authority better.
Yes. This guy disrespect people, speak to anyone the way he want, and he has the gut to sit in parliament and demand respect. Alaska, Enra, your friend lawyer now, Odi, where Oliver and him didn't call.
That's right. That's right.
You saw the way he spoke to him.
Oh yes, that's why the first one we're practicing for 50 years.
Yeah, and so what? You see that kind of posture, and you see, Anameka said the MPP is a broken party. I think MPP for Shada, no ye. For that, yes, because party, even in opposition, the party doesn't have a future. Let me explain to you.
In opposition,
the party MPP any future because of the leadership or in position. One, Alaska Medical Parliament says, yeah, oh, the Afenyo-Markin
that's right.
And demonstrating a lot where the party is going, and then you come back home and look at the mother party at home. Now, no man, Abeku Santana, Yeshua, or say breaking news, no, say on kind of, or can you say MPP has officially withdrawn from media general.
That's right.
Serious. Adrena air run the party even opposition even muyaha.
Adrena there
is Adrena muyaha as a 1 kilobyte and handle because Alaska
as an that Adrena.
This is a party. I was suffer such a humiliating defeat. This is a party already Ghana for Apomo. This is a party already a man for Jamo say people don't even want to hear about you.
That's right.
People don't want to know about your existence. Whatever differences you have with your friend is saying, media general and whatever, it's a huge platform. It's a big platform. And I mean, in politics, if you are smart and you know how to, if you understand politics, we don't know, you need hostile platform. You go to the platform, even if it is hostile to you, you make sure you carry your message across.
That's right.
Even if you're able to get 1 or 2 persons to convince them, your objective in terms of politics is achieved. What I say? You don't need friendly platforms. No, you don't need that. So in opposition, we need people. You need to communicate. That is not the time to be boycotting platforms. Now the platform, no man will be an some papa will be no more so that way.
One boycotting po and on this percentage.
Yeah. And
I dream more ham.
And I dream more. And it is all these are happening because of arrogance. Because these are people who are always full of themselves. They think they are better than others. And as because Afenyo-Markin, the post challenge, the post on the committee, that is what it demonstrated. As for Onyen who said the party in the core elections are 1 year. I said they need to find a way just to ensure that at least they put things together. Some party will maybe come back to life again and become a force to reckon with in our political dispensation. That particular fact, they've forgotten it. And again, so the echo of mother party now is the same thing. And the food base of the party now, among for October.
That's right.
And even some of the individuals now move to a minor for almost say, radio ambassadors. Going on radio telling why they lost the election.
That's right.
You two move for months. Papaya Ofru Kumase, one of the MP, on for the doctor.
Are you?
No, one other guy. The only the kind of orata ku na nye
That's right.
Yes. Also nam say catch them. So the party na nkasa is not in good standing. You understand? So I'm expecting say as a reasonable men who have done politics over the years and claim to have enormous experience, you channel your energy, your wisdom, your experience into this enterprise and make sure say you rebuild the party. But you sit in public, throw tantrums, engage in physical brawl with people, you fight, you insult, you denigrate others, you go into that kind of chaotic way in camera and so forth, and you think that is the only way out to solve the problems that we have. Alaska, to me, a time will come They will come and tell Ghanaians that Ghana from respect you more. Then we will refer them say Abrabona or boy said the Babin say catch or mono. Alaska. Now, my man can't summon you. One will be a ode isam. Asra na nima okujina camera nima na nim yetuntum da.
Davida.
One will be that.
No.
So what is some sra wanim? Na sa okotena camera nima. You appear white, you will never appear black. So what it means is say Abrabona wo boy no. Any Abrabona wo bono. That is what you get. Abrabona omobono of parliament and kwan fa so omototo omonema out there no. That is the mirror image Ghanaians are reflecting for them. So you cannot demand much. You cannot ask for Ghanaians anything beyond what they are giving you. Kwa more abrabo ye now bo bra basa basa bia. That is the kind of response. So I think that we respect parliament as an institution. We respect parliament in the authority. It's unfortunate certain individuals have decided that they will mess the place up and dig dignity no form, because today as we speak the integrity of parliament is in the mat. Right. Yeah, thank you very much, right. Jennifer Bedu. Yes. So these are people out there telling you can't.
So say na Mexican issues no na yaka ho asem no behavior nema na cause of parliament no time. And Nasa the Mexican, a party was suffer such a crashing defeat. I think that this is the time for them to do sober reflection. Now the leadership will find a way of you find a saying handle or just to ensure say they are able to put the party on track. Now build the confidence in party members once again. But the approach, the demeanor and the conduct of these MPP are also even in the opposition, doesn't show a party as while ready to throw away arrogance. That's kind of self-aggrandizement. As a man, that kind of way, they are still on their high horses, just disgracing and some of them fooling themselves within the public space. Because now me catch out about this TV station, media general, opposition party or not suffer such a humiliating defeat of this magnitude. You need the media to engage your base, This is the time, yes, a communication director issue statement or ban the MPP from going to certain platforms when this platform is even bigger than what you, the communication director, can ever be. All these things are emotional decisions. You don't even expect leadership at a higher position, Such things will ever happen. But unfortunately, that is what we are witnessing at this point in time. And then see, let's go and watch some of the videos as well. And my culture say and we are going to look at all the issues here.
And honorable members, because he has given me his words, I would have to take leave of you to go and preside over the house. So, please, Roxanne, just.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable nominee, first, I thank you for making time to answer questions as part of the process of your eventual appointment as a Minister of State. Let me also commend you for availing yourself for this process. I've sent you a paper. I want you to read the content aloud, and we shall begin our journey for the engagement. Please. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Chairman. The paper handed to me has the peace prayer of St. Francis of Assisi. Lord, make me an instrument of your peace, Where there is hatred, let me sow love. Where there is injury, pardon. Where there is doubt, faith. Where there is despair, hope. Where there is darkness, light. Where there is sadness, joy. O divine Master, grant that I may not so much seek to be consoled as to console, to be understood as to understand, to be loved as to love. For it is in giving that we receive, it is in pardoning that we are pardoned, and it is in dying that we are born to eternal life. Amen.
Fortified by this, I'm sure your faith will lead you to provide the necessary honest answers that will be required for the purpose of this engagement. My respected colleague, you rightly said that you and I have known each other for many years. Rightly so. In my days as an entrepreneur at trade fair, where I was running my transport logistics business, you as a young man rented some of my trucks to do business. And we've had a very excellent relationship since then. I won't be the person to obstruct your career path. In the least, I should guide as your senior brother. Going through your CV, you are 85 born, I'm 78. I've seen a lot that you are here to see. Now, the Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana. My respected colleague, Honorable Abu Jinapo, had posed a question to you regarding views you had earlier expressed about the Chief Justice. One of it was to the effect that she was deliberately delaying a suit in court. Which suits you and I notoriously know it to be the LGBT suit. Do you, with the benefit of St. Francis's prayer, which you have invoked, think that you were fair to my lady in the comment you made about her publicly? Which comment she's not had an opportunity to publicly rebut. Do you think you were fair?
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, giving the facts available to me at the time I made those comments, I believe that they were made in good faith at the time I made the comment.
The benefit of hindsight. And now that you know, and granted, I just want to be fair to you. The case had certain applications flying here and there, and there were parties to it, and the respondent defendant's lawyer had made certain applications to the court, which I'm sure you didn't know at the time, correct?
Mr. Chair, I knew.
Okay, if you did, then the various adjournments which were occasioned by the defendant lawyers couldn't have been the cause of my lady, the Chief Justice, correct?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I disagree.
So, it is your case for public records that Her Ladyship, the Chief Justice, deliberately delayed the suit that was before the Supreme Court. It is your case.
Mr. Chairman, my argument had always been...
Honorable Nominee, respectfully, is it your case that the LGBT case mounted by my respected friend, Richard Delasky, barrister at law, etc., etc., was deliberately delayed by the Chief Justice of the Republic. Is that your position? Yes, no?
Mr. Chairman, the description are your attributions, not mine. My words were that she had the power to move the case faster than it was being done. And subsequent actions after the demonstration that I led have actually proved my position to be true. That when the Chief Justice gives a timeline, everybody, respondent or plaintiff, Attorney General inclusive, must abide by it. When she invoked her powers, everybody complied. So my contention that she could have expedited it if she had given earlier timelines were proving right by her subsequent actions. Thank you.
Do you think that prior to your comment, she was not doing her job well? Is that your case?
Mr. Chairman, I thought she could have done better in the exercise of her public office.
Do you think that your commentary was fair to her?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that all public officers are subject to constructive criticism, and I consider my comments constructive criticism.
Honorable Sam George, the process of empaneling, the process a case travels involving parties cannot be at the instance of the Chief Justice of the Republic. Do you agree to that?
The rules of procedure dictate who is responsible for empaneling of judges in cases.
Do you have evidence that my lady, the Chief Justice, delayed in empaneling justices for the case?
Mr. Chairman, there was never a question about a delay in empaneling. There was a question about a delay in hearing.
What occasioned the delay in hearing?
Mr. Chairman, I believe that only the Chief Justice can explain to this House why, when she gave us a date of July 18th for ruling, when we appeared before her on the 18th of July, she chose to adjourn ruling on the matter indefinitely. I can't speak to her reasoning.
Were you a party in the case?
Not directly, sir.
Were you a party in the case? Were you a party in the suit?
Not on the record.
Had you filed as an interested party in the suit, Mr. Sam George?
Not on the record.
Was it fair?
Leader, you just...
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, you have just answered to the question from the ranking that you were not a party of record in the matter under interrogation. And you also did not file as an amicus. But can you confirm whether the subject of the litigation affected you?
Very much so. I was one of 8 sponsors of the bill before the court.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Chairman, I would want to respectfully crave the indulgence of my colleagues to allow us to have a good understanding of what we are doing. Have a smooth inquisition that will help democracy. Very uninterrupted. So, you have answered to a follow-up question that you had an interest in the case.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yet you didn't deem it fit to get into the case through your lawyer or by yourself.
Mr. Chairman, I had absolute trust in the representation of Mr. Speaker, who was a plaintiff and who, in my opinion, represented the interest of the sponsors of the bill. Thank you.
You mean the defendant, because the Parliament was a defendant?
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Nominal defendant for that matter, because the principal defendant in the matter was the Attorney General. It being a constitutional matter.
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
So I'm asking you that when you say we were given a date, what were you referring to?
I was referring to the defendants in the case.
Which defendant you were not part of on record?
Not on record.
So you agree with me that when you not being a defendant, and you not being a party in the suit, having criticized the Chief Justice in the manner you did was unfair to her office. You would agree with me?
Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, no.
Very well. When the Chief Justice who presided adjourned the suit sine die, indefinite, adjourned without a date, did you talk to the defendant's lawyers, that is the lawyers for Parliament, as to the reason?
Yes, I did, and they said no reason was given for the adjournment. The Chief Justice said she wanted to hear the substantive case before giving a judgment on the injunction case, because there were two cases before the court, the substantive case and the case for injunction. Now, the decision not to give a ruling on the injunction case basically and technically stayed the hand of Parliament indefinitely, because so long as there was no ruling, Parliament could not appeal, Parliament could not act. It held Parliament in abeyance for almost 5 months.
Is that what the lawyers told you? Because we would then need to subpoena the lawyers to take the oath, because you are anchoring your criticism of the learned Chief Justice of the Republic to something that is done. So I just want to know from you whether the lawyers told you. I'm not done.
Leader, can I, with respect?
No problem, no problem.
Yeah, please.
I have all the words.
Yeah. Okay, you can come in, please.
Chairman, thank you. Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable nominee, you just answered to a question that you made some comments after the court's adjournment.
Yes, please.
In the matter.
Yes,
by way of criticism.
Yes, please.
Can you confirm? Let me, Chairman, please. Can we have some order around the table, Chairman?
Please go ahead. Let's have one meeting, please. Please go ahead.
Mr. Nominee, let me avert your mind to the constitutional provision contained in Article 21, one of the Constitution. Now, may I put it to you, and by way of a yes and no, that whether your right as encapsulated in Article 21(1), which is to this effect, all persons shall have the right to freedom of speech and expression, which shall include freedom of the press and other media, and B, freedom of thought, conscience, and belief, which shall include academic freedom. Can you confirm to this committee, yes or no, whether the exercise of that right to criticism was framed, anchored on this provision of the Constitution, which guarantees that freedom?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Okay, Leader, please continue.
Mr. Sam George.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Did you receive any information regarding the reasons for the adjournment sine from the lawyers for the defendant, second defendant parliament?
Mr. Speaker, I wasn't client to the lawyers, so they didn't need to give me any information.
Did the lawyers tell you that the inability of the court to make a pronouncement on the said dates affected the work of Parliament?
Mr. Chairman, I don't think it's in the place of the lawyers to determine what affects the work of Parliament. That's the role of Mr. Speaker. Thank you.
You had said that because of the decision of that day, Parliament could not proceed with its work, and that affected its work for some 5 months, correct?
That's correct, Mr. Chairman.
Did that information come from the lawyers to you?
Mr. Chairman, that information came to me from my reading of Article 106 of the Constitution, and with your leave, I would read.
Yes, please. Kindly take the leave of chair, not me.
Yes. Mr. Chair, do I have your permission? So I read Article 106(7) of the Constitution, and that's what I premised that submission on. Where a bill passed by Parliament is presented to the President for assent, he shall signify within 7 days after the presentation to the Speaker that he assents to the bill or that he refuses to assent to the bill, unless the bill has been referred by the President to the Council of State under Article 90 of this Constitution. Parliament was unable, in fact, there was a letter, a cease and desist letter, signed by then Executive Secretary to the President, Nana Asante Bediotwo, asking Parliament not to transmit the bill as passed by Parliament, premised on the fact that there was a pending court case. Even though I think it's important we take judicial notice that his letter to Parliament came a day before any lawsuit was filed before the courts. Thank you.
I am asking you, do you think that your attack on the Chief Justice of the Republic had any basis in the exercise of those your constitutional rights?
Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I did not attack the Chief Justice. I criticized her, and she's not above criticism. Thank you.
Honorable Nominee, do you remember the words you used in criticizing the Chief Justice?
Mr. Chairman, I criticized her extensively. I can't remember all the words. Thank you.
Paraphrase in context your criticism of her, what you said.
I'm unable to repeat any of those here, Mr. Chairman, because it's being the exigencies of time have overtaken it. If there is any specific reference you would like to make, I'm willing to respond to that. Thank you.
Did you write on your social media wall those criticisms? Did you write them?
I want to believe that I express my views on social media house. Yes.
We would give you an opportunity to refer to your social media wall and read aloud and in full those criticisms that you don't readily remember. So go to your social media wall, pick it, we'll give you time so that you can read it, then we can proceed.
Mr. Chairman, I don't know about the ranking member, but I'm extremely active on social media. In fact, one of the most active politicians in this country on social media. It will be an exercise for me to say that I am scrolling through the hundreds and thousands of posts to begin to scan and identify. If I had been given foreknotice of this, I could have gotten a team to do that. But I believe that if there's a particular case that is in question, I could be referred to it. Thank you.
Mr. Chair, our proceedings allow a member time to rely on an important document. Therefore, if the member will need time to go through the particular posts, we would give him the time. He should be able to furnish us with that. So, Chairman, with the greatest respect, let him have the time to make that available.
Mr. Chairman, if there is the need for evidence of that, I can subsequently provide that to the committee. I can print out my entire timeline history for the purposes of the committee, because I will not be able to tell what would be of interest to the questioner. So I'll print out my entire timeline for the committee subsequent to this engagement. Thank you.
Honorable Roxon. Honorable Roxon, you have the floor.
Chairman, thank you very much. Honorable Nominee, social media has been defined in our statutes. How many social media platforms do you have? And which one particularly is in question? We know of Facebook, we know of Twitter, which is now X, we know of WhatsApp pages, we know of TikTok. So Chairman, it will be prudent and for the ranking member to be specific, because social media refers to a plethora of other media platforms that are deployed in cyberspace. So if he can be specific, then I believe that the nominee can be properly guided and to also tailor his answers to those particular references. With all due respect, Chairman.
Okay, thank you. Leader, would you like to be specific on the issue you've just raised?
Chairman, before I proceed, I want to suggest to you to kindly reiterate an earlier call by the chair of this committee, which call was to some of our colleagues who join us but are not members. I don't want to mention a name. I repeat, I don't want to mention a name. But I want to urge my colleagues who are joining us, you may say something not for the record, but when I hear, I would respond to you. Let us ensure decorum. This exercise requires mutual respect. Some of you are knowing some George for the first time. The minority is supposed to do its work. So if you are a first timer and you are here by the grace of God, take this opportunity and learn, and not to call your leader names. If you attempt to act in a manner unbecoming of a backbencher who has just joined Parliament, you will be schooled to know the courtesies that are accorded leaders when a leader is on a firm ground in his duties. Honorable Nominee, my respected colleague, in your word, you are doing to constitute the Republic in a matter that the party.
Correct.
These on your social media platform,
inclusive at national form.
For our people, those that you on your social media platforms. Correct?
Very well, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Now, my question is, Do you remember the exact words that you used in the justice in your criticisms?
It will be difficult because, like the majority whip had pointed out, I do not even know which specific platform you're referring to. I have accounts on Facebook, in fact, 2 accounts on Facebook, a private page and an official page. I have an X account, I've got an Instagram account, I've got a TikTok account, I've got a LinkedIn account. So it's, like, once again, I repeat, Dr. Chairman, I'm grateful if specifics could be applied to the issue here. Thank you.
So my question to you is, which of the platforms did you use in your supposed constructive criticism of the Chief Justice in a matter that you were not a party to?
Yes.
Please carry.
Yes. Chairman, with all due respect to Ranking, we sat in law school classroom together. We graduated together. And we are both seasoned practitioners. And we've done criminal prosecution. And we understand the principles. He who alleges must prove. You are interrogating a nominee alleging certain matters. He has given answers. You may not like the answers. It is up to you to put into the further and better particulars. That when I refer to the fact that you made certain comments by way of criticism of the CJ, it was a so and so social media platform. Here are the prints. In fact, in the course of this committee's work, you have demonstrated that those abilities, you brought information and material particulars before the committee and reference nominees to speak to them. Some you actually labeled them, exhibit 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So in this matter, with all due respect to him, if he hasn't got information, he may still make progress. But if he wants to stay on this course, then you should be providing information by way of material particular so the honorable nominee can speak to.
Said some was by words of mouth on platforms, he said it in the media, some too he posted them.